Hello, once again, dear viewers, and welcome back to another Moonflower Tarot reading. And today's reading, I wanted to get a message from the Pleiades or for Pleiades Starseeds, if you identify as a starseed or if you've been awakening to your starseed origins. I have been specifically getting a lot of energy and messages from the Pleiades myself. I did have a lifetime there, and I was called to do this because there's been a lot of information taking form in my life and all through my reading. So I guess I just wanted to put it all in one place and see what comes through. Now, this is a general timeless reading, and it's a general message for anyone in the collective that identifies with this. This is definitely for you. I am going to be very clear channeling this energy, maybe not speaking the way I usually speak when I connect with a lot of star seeds. I usually almost take on the pattern of speech I did when I was there initially. So just so you are aware of that, if what I come out doesn't sound usual or very clearly to you, that is why. So we're going to try this out. I immediately heard there's a certain pattern of behavior you are imbibing or trying to hold on to or relearn. And a lot of it has to do with an old narrative surrounding people pleasing, which has been a common theme and is coming up a lot, when, especially with connecting to the Pleiades. And if you are here for the first time, I welcome you on. And if you have been following this channel a lot lately, I feel like this energy is, I think, more for you too. And that is here for you to realize that you're not just a um, human being or a spiritual being disguised as a human. You are all aspects of yourself. You are living a human experience in this incarnation, or you're just experiencing yourself in a physical form, which might be different to you from where your life might have taken place a long time ago. And if you're awakening to past life memories, this might be unusual for you right now. And I just want you to know that you're okay and you're safe. It is kind of a new concept. Maybe if you haven't been in an environment where you were made familiar to the even idea of identifying as a star seed or learning about any old incarnation, if you are aligning with new people and new connections, they might actually be awakening you to your past lives. Because I found that a lot over the past 4 years when I was making new connections and interacting with people. I awakened to a lot of previous incarnations by meeting new people, and they were just people I knew from another lifetime, and it um, re-established something in me or it reminded me of something, and I was already very much open and aware. I had an open crown chakra, so there was a lot of information coming through to me. And I'm hearing for some of you this might be good news to you, that you just needed this extra confirmation that this is not unusual. And when we're dealing with Pleiadian energy, there's this unusual factor, and it has to do with the empathic nature or the way that people from the Pleiades responded to the world around them. Because from what I've interacted with, they have a unusual form of communication depending on the region or where they came from or what they identified as. Because there were a lot of psychic empaths. There was a lot of what I call spirit magic, which is just magic. It's using the esoteric practice of the occult to manifest things in or to form things into the real world. There was alchemy. There were certain types of practices. There was connecting with the divine. So it was a lot more openness. It was a little bit similar to a lot of our ancient cultures. The Mayans had a similar practice, the Egyptians, but I'm more so taken to like Mesoamerica had a a similar spiritual vibe where there was this equal balance between the technology we had here, the civilizations, how we interacted with each other, and how we connected with the divine. Um, some of you might have identified as very spiritual beings in those lifetimes or even now, and you might be experiencing a continuation of what you were in those lifetimes, being connected to God, higher powers, spirit, because the foundation and building blocks of life incorporate all these aspects, not just the spiritual nature of the physical world. And one of the things I learned from Pleiadian culture is that there was a healthy, equal balance of what was considered the material realm of technology and the ideology of, laying foundation, the firmament, the physical world. And there was a balance with the spiritual aspect, which was the nature realm, the what we would call maybe lower planes, which were the planes that of the material world that were of spirit. So the Fae, giants, Ents, invisible nature spirits, that we would channel using magical practices, and these entities we called spirit dolls. We had basically, they were like golems, these figurines that could embody the energy of a spiritual entity, like a Fae spirit. So we had these sculptures. So that was one aspect. And then there was the highly evolved angelic aspect of connecting with source. So when I'm tapping into Pleiadian energy, there's a combination of all three aspects of that being tied together by the energy and nature of love, the protection of the physical being, the spiritual being. And these are three aspects that might be awakening in you simultaneously. And there might be this push and pull or want to fight those aspects, because you can be more than one. You could be someone who is deeply embedded in the occult and be a scientist. Like we see that a lot in a lot of religions and faiths and practices, where you can be a Christian scientist, and to the world at large, it seems like, well, that's a contradictory. And it's like, no, you can combine both, because essentially you're combining your faith in this higher power with what that higher power is doing in the physical world. You are trying to understand the higher power and the world around you. And it's this balancing of all energies. But in a world we're seeing now that is driven into the state of black and white, and this like a divergent dichotomy that wants to split everything into equal parts and put them in boxes, and there's no ebb and flow between them. Like, that's kind of what's happening here. And a lot more nature spirits have been active during this time, especially during spring, or this time in our souls awakening as a collective, because they want us to have a better connection with this planet, with the world, with the energies around us, and even with each other, and almost step away from technology in a way that is like imprisoning us, and have a healthier relationship. Because you can even like look at the example of Atlantis and how it fell apart in Lemuria, if you identify with that, or if you know about those civilizations. It's basically the same thing. In order for a civilization to grow and evolve in a healthy way, it needs these three aspects of being a physical being and a spiritual being, and a being that is connected with the spirits of all realms. And if that is activating with you, that is definitely Pleiadian energy. Some signs that you might be reconnecting with star seeds, especially the Pleiades, there might be a lot more colors around you. I identify the color magenta, lavender, blue, gold, violet. Like, definitely think whimsical cottagecore fairy vibes. Definitely a lot of nature spirits might be around you at this time if you're tapping in with them. That is just memories reminiscent of where you were in that place and time, in that spiritual system, in that star system. And your soul is reenacting that here in this physical body. But we were not the same DNA here on Earth as we were there. We did pretty much have physical body in a presence in the material world. Um, that had the capacity to feel things in a different way, to do things in a different way, energetically could be more quick and adapt to using these types of powers and abilities. Um, but right here on this world, we don't really have that, and it might be exhausting to us when we're awakening to a lifetime where we did. And it's almost like our soul wants to make up for lost time. If that makes sense to you right now, don't worry about it. Take your time, be patient with yourself, give yourself plenty of rest if you need to, if you feel called to it. It's just a growing pain within your soul, and you're remembering that part of you. And that is actually good for you, because what you're doing is giving yourself better context for why you are the way you are now and here, an idea of where your soul might want to go. And you also are rekindling that part of you that might need to heal from a past life. Because if things in that world happened to you and things went wrong, because the reason why I incarnated there is to kind of help people evolve and move on. I was there kind of at the tail end of when things were going down, and we needed to spiritually evolve, or at least move on from that world. And just a lot of things were going haywire towards the end there. You might be feeling, or your soul is reenacting that, and that's okay. That's normal. You have an imprinted memory within you that your mind might not be able to fully connect to, but your body, your nervous system knows. And you might not have any control over it, but just know that you are aligning with this higher timeline version of yourself right now as we speak. And I want to get more messages from so I will say to you, one specific deity from the star system keeps coming up from the Pleiades, and um, you want to connect with them, they are the god of spirit magic. Um, how should I say this? If you need help connecting with the Pleiades and you want to tap into that ancient star seed, I was given permission to say this. Call upon the god of the flowers, the god of the flowers, the god of spirit magic. I'm gonna actually ask, can I reveal their name? The I can't reveal the name of the god. Okay, so there was this god or goddess energy I worked with, and they were the protector, the creator of spirit magic, the physical world, the fae. Call upon the god of the flowers. In my mind's eye, they're showing themselves to be this white. Let's call it a daisy. If you see white flowers around you or in your mind's eye, that's the god of a Pleiadian deity trying to reach out to you. Mushrooms also. I think mushrooms more align with the shadow aspect of this deity, and they want you to really connect with certain types of flowers that spark joy, yellow flowers, white flowers. I'm also hearing you need to release control. I got also, okay, I will say to connect with the Pleiades, music, song, sound, because back there we do not communicate in the same way with our voices or tongues as we do on this planet. We relied on more so telepathic, I guess you'd call communication, sound. We connected through sounds, the way the sounds are, and through our emotions. It's a different type of way of communicating than we're used to. We were very highly empathic and highly sensitive in a lot of ways. We communicated through sounds, music, emotion. So if you are feeling a lot of things and these feelings are new to you, or you feel like a lot of your clairaudient gifts are increasing, or your empathic gifts are more sensitive, and that feels a little bit scary or new to you, don't worry. That's just a part of your soul that's remembering when that's all you did. That's how we communicated. I mean, we did have words and we learned words from other people, and you might remember having words, but in the long run, it's not what's said. It's the sound and the feeling behind what is said. And that might be something you're coming to terms with, because we don't necessarily create that type of communication pattern or dialogue that way on this world. It's all what's said at surface level, but there's so much more beneath it. So a lot of the music that came up right off the bat, and I asked Spirit to limit how many songs came up. because I didn't want to overwhelm you with music. But that is one way to connect with the Pleiades is through music, or songs and songwriting in general. If you do that, um, I heard this. One of the songs was Queen of Hearts. Um, you're playing with the Queen of Hearts, knowing it ain't very smart. The Joker ain't the only fool that would keep me away from you. I don't remember the lyrics, but that song came up. Shake It Off by Florence and the Machine. Um, Shake It Off. Sorry, I'm trying to look at my notes. Also, The Dog Days Are Over by Florence and the Machine came up. So uh, let's see what the okay, specifically this Palladian deity is coming through to you, so bear with me. Please honor and respect her. She is my spiritual fairy queen. Thank you for being here with us. You are moving on to a higher frequency timeline. Spiritual energy surrounds you. A lot of purple and grays, a lot of color. If you're seeing or being attracted to colors a lot more, that is a good sign that these spiritual energies are awakening with you, or your soul's reawakening to that. Being near a lot of water, or drinking a lot of water, or speaking into water, doing water magic might be good. Wearing pearls. I'm seeing dolphin imagery, because the shoreline of one of the let me call it a Palladian coast. On one of the planets of the Pleiades, there was a coastline, and it was so beautiful. The sand was sparkling white. The oceans were like this opalescent color. They were like the color of opal, and it was just shiny and so beautiful. And the waters were cold and clear. They were a little murky because it was just so much color there, which was interesting. But yeah, there was this world that was both covered with this beautiful sand and water, as well as these farmlands, and nature was just so vibrant. Like the colors were like, if you turn the saturation up. But I think that might have been like our eyesight, how we perceived color, or it was the natural environment. But if you perceive a lot more colors around you or near you, if you're drawn to the ocean or seascape images, that is a part of the Pleiadian soul that resides in you, that wants to reconnect to you and remind you of what you had to move on from, but also what you need to take with you on this next part of your life to be true to you, because you're incorporating all parts of your soul right now, and that is an important thing to really do, and it feels like it's important to you, and your higher self wants you to know that it's going to be okay. You're going to get help along the way from spirit guides and angels, and let this be a confirmation that you have help, and the god of the flowers wants to help you too, if you're asking. There's not a lot of earthly resources you can connect with. I'm giving you everything I know, but if you want to sit down and pray to them, I'm also seeing like someone making an altar. I'm seeing a vase, like a clear vase with a one single daffodil in it. That might be a way, if you have an altar, or you work with magic, or work with deities or spiritual beings or angels, to honor the god of the flowers from the Pleiades. Get a clear vase and put a daffodil flower in it, or any sort of yellow flower. I'm also seeing someone lighting a candle. So lighting a yellow candle, a white candle. Definitely do that. Go walk out in nature. Maybe even make a fairy house, and put it in your garden or in your house. I would highly suggest researching that. I'm not really sure how one would do that, but if that holds true to you, if you resonate with that, giving a fairy a safe space to be in your yard or in your home, and honoring that, honoring the nature spirits of this world, honors Mia. I said her name. Okay. So the god of the flowers is called Mia. Okay, there you go. There you go. Oh, it slipped out. Call the god of the flowers. If you honor the spirits of this world, you honor her basically. Wow, that just kind of came out very quickly. Also, the color green might be around you. So, if you want to reconnect with the Pleiades, if you're awakening to your starseed origins or just rekindling a connection with a part of your soul, and you hope to reach some sort of catharsis or some sort of point of clarity, reconnecting with this higher power might be good for you right now, especially if you identify as an earth angel, you work with the fae, you work with earth spirits, or even, geology, earth science. Definitely do that. It's going to be good for you because she's going to help you overcome a lot of inner conflict. My heart just started racing when I said this deity's name, so I'm having a little trouble. um, There might be, because that's what I felt. I felt this pain in my chest. There might be some inner conflict going on when it comes to reconnecting with these higher powers or higher frequencies. And it's possible that one or more of you might have actually heard that name and connected with this deity before. And I just want to confirm to you that, yes, this is in fact a Pleiadian deity, and you might have that ancestry in your bloodline, in your soul line. And I just want to confirm that I did, in fact, work with these deities, and this is why I'm able to finally channel these messages. I was given permission to do so. So I am definitely here for you, and I will keep doing this if I'm called to. But right now, I just want you to really focus on your inner work, your health, your healing, getting into nature, honoring your soul, and trying not to panic when these things break through. I know for me, every once in a while, my clairaudient gift will kind of jump in its intensity, and I need to take a moment to remember where I came from, to relieve any tension I might have. Um, you might even develop a lot more psychic gifts. I'm hearing the phrase psychic magnetism, which was actually specifically okay. So that came from a story series called Odd Thomas, written by Dean Koontz, about this man who can basically, who was psychic, who could see ghosts, who was almost not a vigilante, but was kind of like this Earth Angel Starseed. If you are interested, it is a horror series. It's a long series. If you're interested in those types of books, Odd Thomas, I'll write it down in the description below, but that came up. But basically, one of the gifts he basically said he had was called psychic magnetism, which basically it wasn't a form of spell work. It's he would think about something or something he wanted to like go to, or an object, and he would have that in his mind's eye, and he would just start walking. Or if he didn't know what he was looking for, he would just start walking in a direction. Eventually, he would be brought to it. So you might be developing those sorts of psychic gifts where you just are moved by your psychic abilities alone and your higher self, and you find yourself in places or experiencing things that seem like by chance or serendipitous, but that's in fact your psychic gift working, because that's how we moved in the Pleiades. We were all connected to each other in the highest timeline. We were all connected to each other. We were all empathically linked, and we might not have consciously knew it. Our subconscious knew it, and our subconscious was driven by our psychic abilities. So we were all naturally just psychic and evolved to that point. And if you're moving in a direction and you cross paths with someone new, or you experience something that seems lucky, that's just basically you being so in tune with your soul is so highly connected with everything in the world around you. You're just naturally guided there to a time and place, or to a person. So that might be a gift that's breaking. If you are like, let's say if you lose something and you want to find it, viewing it in your mind's eye might actually take you to it. Or talking to God and asking him for the best path forward, or where to go on your way like to and from like school or a job, you might find yourself naturally inclined to going in a certain direction. That's just what that gift means. So I'll link all the songs I received in the description below. But I feel like that's all I really want to say to you and the message from the Pleiades today. That's all I have for you for now. So I just want to thank you so much for joining me today and wish you like so many blessings and so much love on the spiritual journey and awakening. I really hope this has helped you. If you want to comment, if you'd like to see more of these, if not, that's okay. I really just felt compelled to put this reading out today for y'all. So thank you so much for tuning in once again, and I will see you in the next video.